but you still have to face a lot in your judgment. Now, what did you find strange? What's strange? Let me get somebody here. Mr. Ryan, what did you find strange about that thing?
I found that all the things they could and couldn't eat, like the alcohol,
Okay.
how it like affected their souls that much.
All right.
The way we look at
Okay.
it, it's another thing.
That's good stuff. That's strange. To you? What do you find?
I didn't necessarily find the answer to it, but I was wondering why is the crescent moon the symbol of their faith?
Well, I'm not real sure about that one. There's several things that you'll find different explanations for. Anybody have it? You have it?
No, I was just like.
Anybody get that one?
I mean, because you said like the Ramadan had something.
Well, you'll see it.
It's
It's got it on top of the mosque that I drew. And one of the things that is the explanation I've heard, but I don't know if it's the right one, is because it's the moon that is now beginning to rise, and this faith is rising. I don't know if that's accurate. Yeah, I'd like you guys to look that one up if you can find it, because that's something I am not real clear on myself. You see it on the flag of Turkey, for instance. It's a symbol of the Islamic world, and that's the only explanation I've ever heard. Yeah.
I looked up, it's considered a sin to lie on your back and have your feet crossed. I thought it was very bizarre.
That's what you have down as strange? That's a sin in Islam? You
Yes.
lie on your back? No, that's a new one. See? You guys can teach teachers things, because I had not heard that one before at all. To lie on your back and to do what?
Cross your feet, I guess it's considered.
Well, don't do that. That's, where'd you get that bit of information?
I was looking online, I was on some.
Now, be careful.
Wait, at the same
Yeah.
time, or?
Well, I don't know. I've not heard that one. In all the years I've been doing this, I haven't heard that. Yeah, go back and check to see who that, if you can find out who that was.
Okay.
All right?
I found that like extreme need to be clean before they pray.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You don't pray, when you go into church here, you don't stop and clean. What do they clean? Anybody come across that? They have this ritual thing they do. All right, they have to clean their hands, their feet, their necks, and their faces. And then they're worthy to go in and pray. Yeah,
All exposed skin, basically.
yes, basically that. Anything else strange? Well, you already gave us a real strange one. How about you?
Oh, they pray 5 times a day.
Which is, what, 5 times more than you do?
Pretty much.
Well, you pray maybe 8 times, 9 times a day here in class. That's why you're not in class now.
But it's
But
just.
that doesn't count because that's
little
somebody,
different.
and you're doing the exam, and that's sort of enforced, isn't it?
Right.
But these people could get away without praying. Nobody knows that they don't pray. If you're in your house, they'll do it. They're devout Muslims. All right, now, here's one that I thought might be real interesting for you to deal with. What if you were looking at our faith and you didn't know anything about it? What would you find strange about the Catholic faith?
That we call ourselves a monotheist faith, but we like worship Greek and worship the Holy Spirit.
Oh, well, okay. You might think, if you're from outside the Catholic faith, that it's not monotheistic because you have these 3 gods in one. That might be a little hard for somebody to understand. In fact, it is if you don't accept it as a non-believer in the Catholic faith, Christian faith.
I said our celebration of the Eucharist because if you don't understand it, you might find it cannibalistic.
Yeah, that actually came up in the last class. That's kind of an interesting way of looking at it. Yeah. You believe that this wafer is the actual body of Jesus and this wine is his blood? I never thought of it that way, that you might look at it as a sort of a cannibalistic ritual if you were not one of us. Yeah.
How we pray to people that we call saints, of course I always believe in saints and pray to them too, but they might think I thought you were a monotheistic faith.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Why do you have all these other characters who are supposed to be able to answer your prayers? Yeah.
How Jesus performed miracles, like helping the blind to see, and
You think that would be hard to believe for somebody not of our faith? All right. Perhaps you're correct. What about you?
The fact that we eat fish on Fridays during the
That we eat fish on? Oh, we don't eat fish on Fridays. Okay.
that we do, like
Oh, no, I'm sorry. We do eat fish on Friday.
because
Okay.
like, the
In other words,
immigrants-
not eating meat.
Yeah, the immigrants actually
You can eat a kumquat on Friday too, you know. But it's that you don't eat meat. They would find that strange?
Our immigrants, when we were first immigrants to, I forget where, but that's where like holy mackerel came from. Like the actual
You're gonna
term,
get that
because
out.
we were us Christians were called mackerels.
Mackerel,
Fish.
mackerel snappers. What about you?
They might find it hard to believe that Jesus rose from the dead.
Yeah, they don't have anybody rising from the dead in Islam, if they're looking at us. And then so they may find that one a little difficult to accept. Go for it.
That we genuflect at Mass.
Yeah, but they do stuff that's kind of like that.
I know,
The way
but
they get down and.
I'm just saying in general, like anyone.
Okay, well, I'm not disputing what you're saying. I believe that they might find that to be kind of a strange little ritual people go through. Anything else? Wow, let me pick on somebody. What do you have?
My thing would, I would probably.
Oh, that's right, you didn't finish yours.
Yeah, but I would have to agree with the resurrection, because like a kid today, if you heard about the Catholic religion and like the person that they worship was like came from the dead, to me their first thought would be, wow, he's a zombie.
Yeah.
And that would be like kind of hard to digest.
That'd freak you out, huh? All right, now, this is important. I want to see what you did with this. Tell me what conclusions you can draw from looking at our religion from outside, looking into their religion. What did you come up with?
People can find strange things in like any religion, so we shouldn't judge people by what religion they follow.
That's not a bad way to put it. What about you? What do you conclude?
I learned not to judge other people's faith because I can acquire a great deal of knowledge from other religions, and the conclusion is that different religions should respect each other's faith because we never know what we might find in common.
Very good. What about you?
We all have differences and we all look strange, like from the outside. And the world would be a lot better off if we could just tolerate other ones instead of focusing.
Is there any religion you can't tolerate? Okay. What about you?
That while there are differences and that conflicts and arguments can arise out of those, that we do share a lot of fundamental beliefs with other religions.
Name me something you share with Islam.
We all believe in we give them different names, but one true God.
Yeah, well, with Islamic people, we believe there's one true God, yeah.
I've learned that when someone is ignorant about a faith, that they could have different feelings than if they did know about the faith, and that concludes that people should learn about each other's faiths.
All right, Mr. Sessions, what about you? What do you got? What do you have?
I think that we all need to see the similarities and that we all are called to a higher.
Do you think most of us have a tendency to do that? We look. How many of you think we look more for differences than similarities when we look at other people? Yeah. Give me your conclusion.
Each religion has its own customs and things that some people might find actually pretty bizarre. Like
Okay.
Buddhists like beg for their food.
All right,
all
good.
that sort of kind of stuff. But
Oh, we ran out of time. I was just going to pick on you. All right, gentlemen, I'm going to be standing at the door to take those. I want your names on them. And hand them to me, and Aaron, you got to get back to me today. All right, I'm ready to roll here. The name is on. All right, good. All right, have a good day.